Marvel Studios is always expanding their rich cast of actors to find new roles and, of course, new franchises. And now that Henry Cavill is once again not bound to a comic book role with DC Comics, we're starting to hear that once again he's interested in a role with Marvel Studios, and this time they can make it happen. So as the story went before, after he was fired as Superman with the release of Justice League, Henry Cavill and his people reached out to Marvel Studios, and they couldn't lock in anything at the time, but the door was always open. And recently, we know that Henry and his side fired their manager and the people they were involved with, aka the same people that represent The Rock, and that he's essentially just done with what he was doing, moving in a different direction, of course, lining up Warhammer and whatever else, that his new partners and him have reached out to Marvel Studios, and they're possibly in ongoing discussions in regards to a Marvel role. Now again, this just kind of brings us back to 2019, but again, with new people representing Cavill. And while this could be true, or might not be true, we don't really know, there's a couple things that make me doubt some of these reports. First and foremost, we know Henry's looking for a major payday on whatever he signs on, which is why WB didn't want to bring him back, because the cost to get him back did not justify what they thought they were going to make in the end, and now we even saw with Black Adam, clearly it didn't, right? So we don't know whether this is true or not, but if he's demanding, more than most actors are in their first couple of MCU outings, which, believe it or not, most actors in the MCU end up getting paid substantially less than almost anybody, like almost TV wage. It's pretty crazy. But again, once you prove yourself and once you get a couple things under your belt, then they give you the big bucks, so you're like Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth after your first 5 years. I don't know if he'd be interested in that, but at this point, if he has no future with DC and he's doing Warhammer, it might be an option to kind of explore something like that, so maybe there is some truth here. But again, different representation now, we don't know what their goal is going to be with him and where to take him, and certainly, if he can score a role that's reoccurring, like Captain Britain, let's say, or Sentry, or whatever, Hyperion, you get what I'm saying. If he could score one of those, even if it's cheaper for the first couple outings, by the time he's in an Avengers film or something like that, that's where the money's going to be. So maybe you take a smaller payday right out the gate like everybody else, but then 3 to 4 years from now, you're making the money you want. So that might be the option that they're going for. Who knows? I assume if he's ever joining something, they're going to make a public announcement, because of course they are. They're going to bring a lot of goodwill to Marvel Studios, and it's another jab at DC, which unintentionally will be what it is.